Hey everybody, today we continue looking at our January value, responsibility. Responsibility is showing you can be trusted with what is expected of you. Our lesson for today comes from a king named Solomon. King Solomon was young when he became ruler of Israel after his father David. You can imagine that he might have felt nervous about doing the job. But one night, God spoke to Solomon in a dream. And God said, "Ask for anything you want me to give you." Wow, can you imagine God offering you anything that you might want? What do you think Solomon asked for? Solomon asked for wisdom, and God gave it to him. And as a result, Solomon became known as one of the wisest people who ever lived. He shared many wise sayings that were collected in the book of Proverbs in the Bible. The Proverbs are a great source of wisdom for us, even today. They give us some really helpful rules for life. One of Solomon's Proverbs explained why it's important for us to work hard. It's Proverbs 6, verses 6 through 8, and it says, "You people who don't want to work, think about the ant. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, it has no leader or ruler, but it stores up its food in summer. It gathers its food at harvest time." An ant might seem like an unusual choice to inspire us to work hard. But if you take a closer look at ants, you'll see why Solomon chose this busy little insect for his example. Did you know that there are about 1 million ants on Earth for every one human? That means there are a lot of ants. Like Solomon said, nobody gives ants a set of rules to follow. Nobody offers them an allowance or more screen time if they finish their work. God made them in such an incredible way that they stick with the job that needs to be done. They always give it their very best effort. Oh, and ants may be small, but they are mighty. Some ants can lift up to 50 times their own weight. If you were that strong, you would be able to lift an entire car. Ants use that super strength to store up their food. Ants also leave a special trail of chemicals called pheromones. Those pheromones tell the ants where they've been so they don't get lost or repeat themselves. And ants are incredibly creative too. They actually farm other insects called aphids. Ants take care of the aphids so that they can have a constant supply of honeydew, which is a sugary substance that aphids release. And the ants' resourcefulness doesn't stop there. In times of flooding, ants will even protect the queen ant by forming a lifeboat with their own bodies. Ants do whatever it takes to gather the food they need and to keep their colonies safe. They know how to get the job done. And they do it with only about 250,000 brain cells. That sounds like a lot, but guess how many brain cells you have? You have about 10 million. That's 40 times as many brain cells as an ant. God has given you everything you need to work hard. He's given you strength, intelligence, and creativity. Each and every one of us is made in God's image. And because God has given us so much, He expects more of us too. Like Jesus once said in Luke 12:48, "Much will be required of everyone who has been given much." You are smart and strong. You have a brain that works like no one else's. You have gifts and talents that make it possible for you to do exactly what God puts in your path to accomplish. You are determined, and most of all, you're made in God's image. So what does that mean for you to know that you're made in God's image? To know that God made you strong, smart, and creative. It means that you work hard. You do whatever it takes to show love to God and to the people that God made. You give your best effort to help others every single day. That might look like cleaning your room without your mom having to remind you 5 times. Doing your best on your homework instead of putting it off until the last minute. Taking some time to read your Bible just because. Working hard to help your little brother finish his Lego set. Or maybe finding a way to collect food for people in need. It's really very simple. Work hard. Make sure you take time to thank God this week for giving us all that we need to work hard.